So this story will be about my grandmother that got into a bad accident when I was a kid. It's just one of those things that happens that kind of makes you want to appreciate those around you just a little bit more. Because once they're gone forever. My grandmother and I were very close, and I would always tell her everything back when I still lived in Nigeria. She would always tell me about the Nigerian Civil War and how she survived it. And she would always tell me how she came from poverty to wealth. And then she told me how she lost all her money. Yeah, my grandmother was a big time baller. That was until she lost everything and went back to being broke. Now I don't remember how everything happened, but I do remember talking to my grandmother about this one elephant toy that I really wanted so bad. So as my grandmother was preparing to visit her friend's house, she told me that she would buy me the toy on her way back from the trip. I was really excited for this toy because it was very rare. So after she left, me and the rest of my family were watching TV and just chilling, basic family stuff. But then after a while I got bored and went outside and waited for her, but she was nowhere to be found. So mom got worried because there was no way to contact my grandmother because she didn't know how to use a phone. So my mom never bothered to get her one. So we waited and waited and waited. My grandmom was nowhere to be found. Usually when she goes to visit someone, she doesn't stay for more than 6 hours. But 10 hours had passed and my grandmother was nowhere to be found. So my brother wanted to go out there and look for her because it was getting really late. But my mom told him not to because of all the crazy things that's been going on in my neighborhood at the time. Like people were being kidnapped and sold on the black market, a place where you can find a bunch of weirdos that like to eat human flesh and use them for voodoo.
Did you bring the body?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How much do you want for it, huh?
Only $10,000, sir.
Bukiki! Bring the $10,000 from the back of the trunk, huh?
Okay.
Take him to the basement. We will slaughter the body there.
Shut up! People got shot very often in my neighborhood, and my mom wasn't trying to take any chances because she knew the dangers that were lurking around. So my mom told my brother not to go. So after a while, we just sat there in silence, worried where my grandmother was. And then we heard a knock on the door. And my face glowed with happiness because I thought it was my grandmother. But then my mom opened the door and it was a young lady. And she came to deliver a message. She told my whole family that my grandmother had gotten into a really bad accident and she was badly hurt. So my mom and my brother rushed to the hospital, and when they got there, they found the man that accidentally hit her with his motorcycle when she was crossing the street. My brother was very violent, so he wanted to fight the man for what he did, but everyone told him to calm down because it was an accident. This man knew he couldn't pay for the damage that he had caused, so he told the nurse that he was going to go use the bathroom, and this man ran away like a coward after what he had done to my grandmother. So my mom paid for the medical bills out of pocket because my grandmother didn't have insurance. But eventually, her leg healed and she eventually started walking again. I never got the toy that I wanted, but I was just happy that my grandmother was alive and didn't die from the accident. Moral of the story is, if there is someone in your life that you value, always spend time with them and make the most of it, because one day they might just become history.